Good evening, one and all. Am I audible? Sabik sir?
Yes, you can.
On behalf of IEEE MSS, I welcome you all to the webinar on Future of Startups, Technology and Innovation by Dr. Chandrasekharan Nair, Startup Mentor, Kerala Development and Innovation Strategic Council, KDISC. Dr. Chandrasekharan Nair has PhD in Incubation and Entrepreneurship, MBA in HR, IR and Finance. He has 40 years of experience in finance and quality certification, including 16 years of experience in innovation, incubation, and entrepreneurship development, and 10 years of experience in teaching. He has received a number of awards and honors, including National Award for Best Technology Business Incubator in 2007, International Award for Second Best Science-Based Incubator in the World, awarded by CSES, UK and Technopolicy Network, Netherlands in 2011. Best Technology Incubator in Asia Pacific Region Award from AABI 2012. Best TBI Award for Startup Village, Kochi in 2015. And also Devaraja Award for Literature in 2019 for his poems. It is an honor and privilege to welcome you, sir, to this session. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, I'm very happy to be associated with the IEEE Kozhikode chapter and also with your college. And I'm very thankful to you for inviting me to this webinar on future of startups, technology and innovation. So the startups and unicorns have been the buzzwords for a couple of years now. And needless to say, this decade has clearly been the decade for startups. Of course, I think you all are agreeing with me. All around the globe, we have seen the rise as well as the fall of various startups. Same is the story for India as well. For every Oyo, Zomato, and Flipkart, we know all these names. Every day we are seeing everywhere. We are using the services of all these startups, Oyo, Zomato, and Flipkart. There are countless other startups that were not able to survive and had to shut their shop. However, India has been doing quite well and has really grown and built an ecosystem of startups for itself. So this growth was not achieved in a day. Before diving into how India evolved as a hub for startups, we should first know what a startup actually is. A startup is a venture or a company that is started in order to provide solutions to certain problems that have never been answered before, or to provide better solutions to the ones that are already existing. And any startup, when anybody wants to start up something, start up a venture or a start up a company, they need, first of all, they need an idea. And I should say an idea is a solution for a social problem or several solutions for a social problem. And we are picking up the best solution from a lot of solutions. The word startup is often related to Silicon Valley in the US, which saw the rise of so many great startups like Facebook, Google, etc. However, am I audible? Any problem?
Aditya K, please mute your audio. Aditya.
Okay.
Okay, sir, continue.
Okay. However, now the dynamics around the world are changing, and the two very rapidly. Startups are now even related to Shanghai in China, Bangalore in India, or Hyderabad in India, even Chennai, and even in Kerala, Trivandrum, and Cochin. In fact, India ranks third in the global list of countries with the largest startup of ecosystems, incubation ecosystems, right after the US and UK. And now, so many countries like China and Singapore, Malaysia, and even Israel are closely coming after us. But it seems like there is no stopping this growth in India. Our country recorded additions of approximately 1,300 new startups in the year 2019, with the figure for the number of tech startups reaching around 8,900 to 9,300. And because of the pandemic, that is the COVID-19, in 2020, we had a lesser number of startups registered in India, but it's a great achievement for Kerala. In Kerala, we have seen that more than 1,000 companies, startup companies, are registered with the Register of Companies Cochin in Kerala. Business and trading is something that has been in the blood of Indians throughout. This is something that can be seen in our history textbooks as well. However, there are certain touch points in history that really helped in accelerating the startup growth. So if you try to chart out a rough estimate, a rough timeline of when did this growth really start, we could probably say that a major turning point would have been in the 1980s. This was the time when Rajiv Gandhi, the then Prime Minister of India, introduced the liberalization of the computer industry. And it was during the 1980s that NASCOM was also launched in India. This really led to a growth of the digital industry in India. Another touch point to notice would be the year 2008, that is after the Great Recession. This brought many economies to their knees. Most of the world economies doomed, we know. And companies all over the world started laying off their employees. There was a constant fear among employees all over the world of losing their jobs. This had a major impact on IT professions in India. Many started looking for newer alternatives, and many who were fired from their jobs decided to take a step forward in the startup direction. Many famous startups in India like Policy Bazaar, Zomato, then Cloud Kitchen, tech companies, Big Basket. So many companies are there, to name a few. Zomato, etc. were found during this period. After this, there has been no stopping for startups in India. It has continued to grow at a large rate. However, it is also important to know the reason why these startups have been growing at such a rapid pace in our country. The reasons for startup growth in India was something that was gradual in nature. And there are quite a few reasons why India became such a sustainable environment for startups to thrive in. Some of the major reasons are, number one, that is the pool of talents available in India. Our country has a pool of talents. India has a population that has a majority of the younger generation. This shows the amount of potential that our country has in terms of talent. There are millions of students graduating from colleges and B schools every day. Many of these students use their knowledge and skills to begin their own ventures, own startups, and that has contributed to the startup growth in India. In the past, much of this talent was attracted to only the big companies, but now that is slowly changing. Then, second, the cost of setting up business is very low. India is a labor-intensive country rather than being capital-intensive. Also, the labor here can be hired at very cheap rate. So, compared to some other countries, the cost of setting up a business here is comparatively low. In fact, this is the reason why many multinational corporations as well decide to set up their plants and offices in India. This is one factor that was really capitalized by the startup owners as well. Then third point is the government boost. This past decade has been a massive startup growth in India, and one of the reasons for this could be attributed to the various schemes launched by the government. Some of the major schemes that were introduced to boost entrepreneurship were the Startup India program and the Stand Up India program of Government of India. The government also tries to encourage ventures in new sectors or in certain rural areas by providing subsidies to them. Subsidies and so many incentive schemes are introduced by Government of India during the past 5-6 years. Increased the use of the internet. India has the world's second highest population, and after the introduction of affordable telecom services like Reliance Jio, the usage of internet has really increased. It has even penetrated to the rural areas now. India has the second largest internet user base after China, and companies and startups can really leverage on this easy access to the internet. Not only can it be used to spread the message about a new year business, but it can also be used to gather a new information as well. So communication has become much easier. This also one of the major reasons for the startup growth in India. The advent of technology, the evolution of startup in India has also been due to the advent of technology. We know that.
Excuse me, sir. Do we have slides to share? Slides?
No slide. No. I just speak on the subject. Okay. So this is the advent of technology has led to businesses growing by leaps and bounds. Technology has made the various process of business very quick, simple, and efficient. There have been major developments in software and hardware systems due to which data storage and recording has become a very easy task. Now, because of the trend around artificial intelligence and blockchain, many new startups are considering the options as well. And finally, variety of funding options available in India. Earlier, there were only some very traditional methods available for acquiring funds for a new business model, which include borrowing from the bank or borrowing from a family and friends. However, this concept has now changed. There are numerous options and opportunities available. Startup owners can approach angel investors, venture capitalists, seed funding, crowdfunding, etc. This availability of options and easy accessibility has also contributed to the growth of the startup ecosystem in India. And coming back to the startup growth, the startup evolution Kerala. The startup evolution Kerala started with starting the technology business incubators in Kerala with the help of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The first two incubators, technology business incubators started in Kerala are one, the Technopark Technology Business Incubator, which started in Technopark Trivandrum, and the second, the Technology Business Incubator started in NIT Calicut. So both these incubators in 2002 onwards, they really started creating an evolution, creating a revolution in the state of Kerala. As you know, I was in a Technopark. I was one of the founders of Technopark, and Technopark started in 1990 in Trivandrum, and we had very few companies when we started off in the Technopark in Trivandrum. It is just like a big business incubator. We started started operations, started the business in 1993. And in 95, the Technopark was ready to house companies, startup companies. But to our dismay, it was very difficult to get companies that time, because during that time, Technopark was actually started as electronics technology parks, and we were thinking of getting electronics companies to Technopark. And during that time, software business was not much progressed, much relevant there in India, and especially in most parts of the globe. So we were actually waiting for companies in 95-96 periods. We got 5-6 companies there, and for the first 10 years or so, we got only 10-15 companies in Technopark. All startup companies, started by Malayalis in Trivandrum and in other districts of Kerala, Trivandrum and Cochin. So after that, in 2002, we started the first technology business incubator with the support of Government of India, Department of Science and Technology. In the first year, in first 3 years, we didn't get any companies there. In 2005, actually, we started kicked off, and in 2-3 years time periods, we got about 20-25 startup companies in Technopark Technology Business Incubator. And the Technopark Technology Business Incubator, the TBI, now it is called as Kerala Startup Mission, spearheading the entire startup activities of the state. As of now, we have about 80 plus incubators in the state, not only in IT and software. In IT and software, most of the more than 50% of the incubators are there in IT and electronics, and the rest of the incubators are mainly in agricultural sector, in food technology. They are called as kitchen incubators. And to name a few very successful incubators in the state, starting with the Technopark Technology Business Incubator, then in Cochin, we know the Startup Village, then the NRI TBI in Infopark Kochi, you know, then NIT Calicut Technology Business Incubator, then very famous, very successful incubators in other fields like in agri and fisheries. That is one incubator that is in CIFT, Central Institute of Fisheries Technology. One incubator that is in Trivandrum, that is in Central Institute of that is Tuber Crops Research Institute, that is CFTRI, Central Tuber Crops Research Institute in Trivandrum. Then in IISR, Kozhikode, that is Indian Institute of Spices Research. CPCRI in Kasaragod, Central Plantation Crops Research Institute. In all these research institute, famous research institutes of the Government of India, there are incubators. And we have not only the business incubators are funded by Government of India either by Department of Science and Technology, Department of Electronics, Department of Biotechnology, and the like. So many agri-business incubators are also set up by Department of Agriculture, Government of India, in various parts of the country. And so many agri-business incubators are there, as I pointed out, where operating from Kerala also. The business incubators, the famous business incubators, which you can depend on around in and around Calicut, the IIM Kozhikode, that is live. The business incubator is called live. Then NIT Calicut Technology Business Incubator. Then Kerala State Business Incubation Center, that is operating from UL Cyber Park, owned by Kerala State Industrial Development Corporation. Then in a Cyber Park, we have the Cyber Park's own Technology Business Incubation Center. Then Kerala Startup Mission Incubation Center, there Calicut Operation, Calicut Region Center, that is operating from out of UL Cyber Park. Then Kinfra Techno Industrial Park is there. Then that is called the Kinfra Neospace. Then the Kinfra Food Park, that is very near to Tenjapalam, that is in Malappuram district. It is also there. Then IAMAI, the Mobile 10X Incubation Center, that is a private incubation center. It is called a private co-work space. That is in Calicut. And another MSME Incubator Support Center, that is in NIELT, National Institute of Electronics and IT, that is also in Calicut. And a few co-work spaces, private incubation centers are also coming in Calicut, just like Malabar Incubation Center. Then the Egg Incubator supported by India Mart, and the Hatch Mart business space in Calicut. So these are the names of the incubator infrastructure available in Calicut and especially in Kerala. So the growth of incubators is directly related to the growth of startups in Kerala. That is, as I said earlier, Kerala, as of now, we have, and I think the total number of incubation centers, the business startups, the technology startups available in Kerala is more than 1,000. And the reason why I am pointing out as 1,000 is so many startups are registered in Kerala before the pandemic, that is in up to 2019. But in 2020, we have seen the pandemic, the COVID struck the business, the startup business also, and many startup companies have unfortunately closed their operations. So now more than 1,000 startups are functioning very successfully in Kerala as of now. And another point I have to point out to you. That is related to the infrastructure available, the infrastructure ecosystem available for startups in Kerala. That is, in Kerala, we are seeing a 4-tier infrastructure facility available for startups in Kerala. That is starting from IEDCs, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development, is available in engineering colleges. We have as of now around 150 engineering colleges in the state, and in almost all the engineering colleges we have Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Centers, which are supported by Government of India or supported by Kerala Startup Mission. Kerala Startup Mission is supporting every year. They are giving around 2 lakhs as seed money support to all these Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Centers. And second option is from any startup, any student who are studying even right from the first year of engineering in a college, they can start their startup, their venture in IEDC in your own college. And after that, after the college time, that is after 4 years, after the passing out, you can relocate your company, your startup from the IEDC in the college to the regional rural IT parks. That is, they are called techno lodges in Kerala, or the rural district level parks in Kerala. So in almost all the districts in Kerala, except the hub parks, spoke model parks are available with this techno park in Trivandrum, then in Info Park in Kochi, and Cyber Park in Kozhikode. These are the hub model IT parks, IT and electronics park available in Kerala. And all these hub parks have their own spoke model parks infrastructure available in districts like Kozhikode. The Cyber Park has a spoke model park in Kannur, another is in Kasaragod. Then in the Cochin Park, Info Park, they have operations in Cherthala, then in Angamali, then in Chalakudi or somewhere. So, and in Trivandrum, the Technopark are 4 or 5 phases now. Technopark phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, they are in Trivandrum in Karakutam. That phase 4 is on the national highway, that is Pallipuram. And they have a spoke model park available in Kundara, Kollam. So this is the second level of parks available. That is after the IEDC, Innovation Development Center, after the operation, there you will get a very small infrastructure available there in colleges. Then you can come to the rural parks, like the district level parks or the techno lodges. These techno lodges are the parks, the rural IT and electronics parks, which are supported by the Kerala State IT Infrastructure Limited. It is a company, it's an IT company, IT company formed by Government of Kerala. 7 or 8 techno lodges are available in throughout Kerala as of now. One is in Trivandrum, the Trivandrum technology that is operating from Trinity College of Engineering in Trivandrum. Then another technology is operating in Mangalam Engineering College, Ettumanur, Kottayam. Then one technology is in Kannur Technology. That is a private entity. They have, it is called KTL, Kannur Technology. KTL has another facility in Kannur where the Byju's, we know the unicorn, the EduTech unicorn, which is started from Kannur, went to Bangalore, and now they have the global presence, became the unicorn, and a very successful startup from Kerala. They are operating from the KTL co-work space in Kannur. And that is a technology, and the biggest success of a technology that is started, and the first technology started in Puravam in Kakur. They started as an IT technology, IT and electronics company started there, and then they expanded to Agro Park. There are so many agriculture startup companies are working, and now they have a facility in Kalamasheri, Ernakulam, and another facility in Kottayam also. They are expanding like anything. So 5-6 technologies, and even some other technologies are in operational in some of the panchayats, district panchayats in Kerala. That is one is in Kundara, and one is in Beliyam, and one is in Kadakal. These parks are started by Government of Kerala, that is the IT Department of Government of Kerala, and after that they gave it to the Kerala State IT Infrastructure Limited, and some of the earlier technologies like Beliyam, Kundra technologies have been closed down, but the other technologies in the engineering colleges, the private technologies operational in engineering colleges are very successful. That is the second level of infrastructure, IT infrastructure available in engineering colleges and the rural IT parks. And the hub model, the hub parks are also there. And these are the IT electronics and other infrastructure, the startup infrastructure, an infrastructure ecosystem available for startups to start operations in Kerala. And another point is, when we come to the technology sector, which of the sectors, which of the areas we can start startup companies? Normally, what we think of the startups, when we think of the startups, we think that we can start startup companies in IT or electronics only. But if we think that if we have 10,000 startups in Kerala, out of that, 75% of the startups, that is more than 7,500 startups are in agri and other fields. We can start startup companies in any sector, in any area, wherever possible. And when we come out, when we think about technology, we need technology as an enabler to start startups in any sector, any field. So, in any field, like in a kitchen incubator, we have a food incubator, we have any company wants to start a startup, any individual, any student, any businessman who wants to, any NRI in Kerala who wants to start something like a food incubator, a food startup company, or an agri startup company, they can take the help of the technology from the technocrats, the technology people. They can source technology from outside, and they can start startup companies in any field. Even when I was in a Technopark from 2005 to 2014, I have mandated and promoted about more than 2004 startup companies in IT and electronics in Trivandrum Technopark. That is in the former Technopark Technology Business Incubator. And after 2014, I went to Cochin. I was with the KITCO in Kochi. And when I was with the KITCO, I traveled far and wide throughout Kerala and started most of these incubators not only in IT and in all other fields, in agri, the CIFT incubator, then the NRI incubator, the startup village, all these incubators are started either by my support or by my startup, the successful startup companies. Even the startup village in Kochi, Kalmasheri, it was started by actually by a team of startup, successful startup. It is called MOPME. MOPME, you may know that the one of the very successful names, startup names we heard from Kerala. And it was a startup in Trivandrum Technopark. The name was Torque. And after 3 years of operation in Trivandrum Technopark, they became successful, and they relocated to Cochin. And in 3 years' time, that is in 2011, with the support of a Technopark Technology Business Incubator, they started this startup village. And even now, the startup village is functioning from there. In the technology innovation zone, again, the second campus of Kerala Startup Mission, that is operating from the Kinfra Park, Kalamasheri, Kochi. And some of the incubators, the incubator infrastructure is available in electronics. That is, I forgot to mention that. That is with the IIITM Kerala, Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management. They started the first Fab Lab in Trivandrum. They have 2 Fab Labs. One is the Digital Fabrication Lab. The first Fab Lab, Digital Fabrication Lab, is in Trivandrum IIITM. The second Digital Fabrication Lab, that is in Kochi, this innovation zone. And now they have the Maker Village also there in Kochi. Maker Village is it is an incubator, the largest electronics incubator in the country, which is supported by Government of India, Department of Electronics and IT. And we have so many biotechnology incubators like Bionest. Bionest is the first Bionest, which is supported by the biotechnology as well as the Agriculture Department of Government of India, DBT and DAT, supported by them with around 50 crore support from both these departments of Government of India. Started operations in Kochi. That is the first Bionest, the Bionest Kochi. And the second Bionest, now it is given to Amaljodi College of Engineering. It is in a private college situated in Kanjirapalli, that is in Kottayam district. They have a Bionest there. And even they have a technology business incubator there. And an IEDC also there. The first rural technology business incubator supported by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, is started in Amaljodi College of Engineering. And the first IEDC, the private IEDC supported by Government of India with the funding support of Government of India, Department of Science and Technology, and NSTADB, National Science and Technology Entrepreneurial Development Board. That is in Amaljodi College. So they have 3 infrastructure facilities operations there. That is IEDC, the Technology Business Incubator, and the third one, that is the Bionest, Biotechnology Incubator in the college. So and we have one it is the incubator that is from a different domain, Ayurveda incubator. That is KSIDC is starting on Ayurveda incubator in Trivandrum. And in their second Ayurveda incubator is operating from Chalakudi, that is Care Kerala, Angamali. That is in the Kinfra Park, it is there. So when we think about the infrastructure available, the growth of the startup ecosystem, the growth of the startup ecosystem available in Kerala, that is stupendous. And we can say that when we compare the states in India, the most number of incubators, the public government supported, central government supported, state government supported, and private incubators, co-work spaces available in the states, the most successful states in India is Kerala. And in the case of a number of IEDCs also, the government of India supported IEDCs are there. So many IEDCs are there. 5 or 6 IEDCs each in many states like Maharashtra, then Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and UP. But most IEDs is supported by a startup mission by a state, or most IEDs is supported by a government, a state government. That is in Kerala. We have more than 250 IEDs operating in the states. Even 150 engineering colleges and more than 100 arts and science colleges, we have IEDCs. And the only negative point I have to mention, that is, I don't know how many startups are operating from these IEDCs, because when the colleges start IEDCs, their main aim is to start IEDC, get a board there, very, very big board, that is Innovation and Entrepreneurial Development Center there. And when the accreditation team is coming to the college, they are showing that, oh, we have IEDC there, and for operating, for starting the IEDC, they will get points for points in the accreditation. So I think that is the only intention of the private engineering colleges or private arts and science colleges to start IEDCs. But even I have promoted and I have inaugurated so many IEDCs, more than 100 IEDCs in the state. And whenever I go to these IEDCs in the state, I ask the colleges to start companies to promote the students, to ignite the students, get the students who have ideas to start their startups there in the college itself. Why I am telling is, we know about the future of engineering colleges even, because you are, I think all the participants are having the background, engineering background. So I have to tell that 3 to 5 years back, we had more than 170. Approximately 172 engineering colleges were there operating in Kerala, but now it is less than 150. What happened to the engineering colleges in the states? The first engineering college, the private engineering college, the self-financed engineering college started in 2002 in Kerala. The government of Kerala gave outright sanction to so many engineering colleges. And it was just like before that in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, so many engineering or private self-financed engineering colleges were there. Our students who didn't get seats in government engineering, we had only 5 or 6 engineering colleges in the state. Then most of our students went to Tamil Nadu or Karnataka pursuing their engineering study. So government of Kerala gave approvals to engineering colleges. More than 165 engineering colleges started as self-financed engineering colleges. Every year, we are seeing that from 2002 to 2010, more than 50,000 students students passed out as engineers coming out of the engineering colleges in the state. Then 52,000 engineers every year coming out of the engineering colleges. And how many passed out students got employment in Kerala? Many of the students went outside the state looking for employment. Many went to Gulf region, Gulf area seeking employment. Many people started higher education. They opted for MTech and MBA and other higher level education opportunities went for that. And the others, even very recently, I know, out of the 50,000 seats, earlier we had about 72,000 engineering seats available in the country for BTech only. And now it is less than 50,000 seats available in the states. Out of the 50,000 seats, how many students are passing out as engineers? It is less than 18,000. 18,000 students every year are coming out successfully from the engineering colleges. And how many passed out engineers got selected by the IT companies, mainly IT companies in the state? It is less than 3,500 every year. Even in the pandemic time, last year also, so many students got a appointment letter, but how many are placed? Now, what the passed out engineers are doing? Most of these people are going for MTech. That is one side, and some are going for PSC. That is coaching centers, and then bank coaching centers, and the like. And after writing the PSC examinations, what job are you getting? I think I heard the news the last year that in the police department, in the police force, government of Kerala, PSC recruited about 40,000 applicants were there. Out of that, they have recruited 3,000 or so people graduates. And out of that, more than 60% of the graduates got employed in police department are engineers. And even in KSRTC, Kerala State Road Transport Corporation, empaneled conductors and empaneled conductors, more than 70% of the empaneled conductors recruited in the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, were engineering graduates. So what we are up to, what the engineers are up to, are you going to end up as after getting an engineering degree, after getting a 70% or a 75% marks in engineering, what are you going to do? Are you going to study for a PSC in engineering PSC examination, or are you going to appear for this buying test, buying a probationary officer test? Are you going to join a short service commission and the like? Why then? Why you studied engineering? So our option is, if you don't get, if your first option is to get an appointment, get a job in a multinational company, a multinational IT company, your second option, my suggestion is your first option should be starting a startup company. You have ideas. You can have any idea. Think of an idea. Think of a social problem around your society. You look at the society. You will get a lot of problems. You can have a lot of problems. Even the pandemic. Even we know the COVID-19 pandemic. Many companies have started. Many startups have started operations during this pandemic in education sector as well as in the healthcare sector. Even we have funded 6 startups during 2020 June to 2021 January. 6 startup companies in healthcare domain. That is one of the successful companies is QCopy, that is operating from Kozhikode. 4 or 5 co-founders are there. We have given them some funding, some IT funding, the funding from this seed money available from Government of India, Department of Science and Technology. We have a committee from in the startup village. We invited applications and we selected 6 companies and gave seed money to 6 companies, and all these 6 companies became successful. One is the QCopy. The government of Kerala is now using their mobile application, using their software application for updating the COVID details to public. That is one. Then another company from Trichur, they are manufacturing PPE kits. Another company, they are manufacturing a mask and all other accessories for PPE kits. And then one company is manufacturing this sanitizer. So every pandemic situation is an opportunity. Every negative situation can be taken, can be seen as an opportunity for startups. And these opportunities, these problems can be taken. You think of an idea, and you can technologically solve the problems, solve the problems, and they use the technology, get the technology. You can have co-founders from your own friends also, friends or your own college faculty also, your teachers, your faculty, the professors in engineering colleges, get their help, get the technology for solutions. You can start companies. Even in an education field, just like the Byju's app. It is an app. Now they became, after 5 or 6 years of toiling, they worked hard for so many years, and now they became a unicorn company. So in any field, if you have technology, if you have the kind of mindset to start something, you can start a startup company. So, and for any technology, there should be an innovation behind technology. The technology should be supported by innovation. The innovation can be either technology innovation or a business innovation. In business model innovation can be there, and in technology, even now some of the companies in startup companies. Last week, I supported a company in Trivandrum. It is called Accutra Technologies, started by a faculty in an engineering college in Trivandrum. That is Trinity Engineering College in Trivandrum. I was a member of Trinity Engineering College in Trivandrum, and I was the CEO of the technologies in Trinity Engineering College Trivandrum. Then when I was there, I asked all these faculty of the engineering colleges to start startup companies. And after persuasion, so many months of persuasion, because the faculty of the engineering colleges are very reluctant to start their own companies. We have IEDCs in the colleges. The engineering college staff, the faculty are acting as mentors to the IEDCs, mentors to the students, and they are asking the students to start their own ventures. But what is the reluctance to the faculty of the engineering colleges to start their companies? In Trinity Engineering Colleges, the faculty started 16 faculty startups, and now most of these faculties came out of the college campus, and they started off their operations. They are relocated to different parts of the town in the city to start their companies. And one of the companies called Accutra Technologies, they are manufacturing IoT products, like now they have what is it? IoT products in which are used in for the identification of COVID-19. That is I forgot the names of the products. I will tell you. So most of these companies in IoT and other companies who came out of the Trinity Engineering faculty companies, they are doing very well, and most of them got funding also. The funding from different sizes, different seed support funding is available for them. Venture capital funding is available. Crowd funding is available. So many types of funding. Even the angel investors also funded. So many angel investors are there. When I was working in KITCO, I was looking for angel funding for one of my companies operating from KITCO, my enterprise. That is the business incubator there in KITCO. And the first angel investor came out to support me, a businessman from Calicut. So we have a lot of angel investors, so many people, so many successful businessmen, so many people who came back from the European countries, US and other Gulf countries, NRIs. So many people are retired from banks and other government employment. They all are ready to fund the startup companies. The attitude of the people are changing. So anybody can start companies. You will get the 2-3 points are there. One is, what are the negative points when you are thinking of starting a startup companies? One is you are thinking where you get funding. Second is where you get ideas, ideas for technology. The third one is how you can innovate. So for all these points, you have solutions. You can start the companies in IEDCs. Your mentors will be your faculty. You will get funding from Kerala Startup Mission, or you will get funding from either from angel investors or from government, state government, or from government of India, or from angel investors, seed support. Banks are funding. Banks funding are just like this. So many funding types of funding. Mudra loan is available there. CGTMSA scheme is available there. Up to 1 crore funding is there by the banks. The national banks all the national banks are giving funding up to 1 crore without collateral to startup companies. The Mudra scheme up to 10 lakhs for us, the seed money you will get without collateral, you will get as funding. The government, the corporations like KDISC, KSIDC, KFC, Kerala Financial Corporation, all are giving funds. Even Kerala Financial Corporation, they have their own incubation center in Kochi. KSIDC have Kerala State Industrial Development Corporation, they have their own incubation centers. And I told you about the incubation center there, Kerala State Incubation Center, that is in UL Cyber Park Kozhikode. They have one in Kochi, they have one in Trivandrum, they have one in Kannur. So incubator infrastructure is available there. You have ideas available anywhere there. You have funding is available for starting the startup. You have technology mentors there to support you for technology solutions. You have innovative ideas there. Then what else you need? Instead of going back as the job seekers, going after the PSC coaching centers, going after the bank coaching centers, bank recruitment coaching centers, instead of going after the people who are in the Gulf area, in outside the state, seeking for employment, begging for employment. Why don't you start startup companies? The future of startup companies in India is very bright. Even in Kerala, it's very, very bright. And everywhere, everybody, even the state government, the state public sector undertakings, the successful business, the successful businesses, the successful companies, the successful multinational companies, even in the successful companies operating from Technopark. Most of the companies are helping startups by students. Even you mentioned some of the few names like IBS, the US Technology, Infosys, then Oracle. Many of these companies, almost all these companies, TCS, all these companies are helping startups. Even they will give you a space in their own company. They're inside their own campus to start. They will give you fund. They will mentor you technology. Their employees, their experts in different fields will mentor you, and they will fine tune your technology. And if you want, they will take over you once you get your product developed, or you can go out after giving them a few kind of 10 or 15% of shares instead of their support, their monetary support. So it is I think I can stop here, and I think we can interact. Any participants have any doubt, you can ask me on any subject related to startup, IT, or agri startups, rural startups, anything you can ask me. Even the sector-wise, if you have any question on sector-wise startups, any question of funding, any question on government schemes, central government schemes, state government schemes, you can ask me. Thank you very much.
Participants can either unmute and ask, or you can type in the chat box.
Yeah, can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, please.
Okay, it was a wonderful presentation, sir. You are totally immersed in startup. Thank you very much. I have a question. Do you have any recommendation on blockchain and fiber optic solutions you have started, or is there a scope for that?
Yeah, blockchain is a future technology, I can say, because when we are thinking of the technology, the past technology, we know software, electronics, and all. The future technologies are IoT, blockchain, AI, data analytics, and all. These areas, blockchain is the most sought after area. That is the very successful multinational companies like in Kerala, like IBS, US Technology, and TCS. They already started their blockchain departments inside their companies. And one thing is, we have a blockchain academy operating from Kerala in Trivandrum. Blockchain academy is there, and the IC Force they are supporting the blockchain academy. And that's International Center for Free and Open Source Software, IC Force. That's the government of Kerala venture. They are supporting the blockchain this thing. And for any mentoring, any type of mentorship, any type of business support, the blockchain academy can help.
Is there any company operational so far in blockchain?
Yes, US Technology.
Okay.
US Technology. That is in Technopark.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, any other question?
I have one more question. If that's nobody else is coming up with questions.
Yes, sir.
In agro, in the raw material, what is available here, like coconut, for example, jackfruit, etc. Using that, is there any innovation, any new technology for startup as per your study?
Yes, sir. In a jackfruit, we know James Joseph, jackfruit 360.
Okay.
We know that. James Joseph created history in the agri startup area in Kerala. That is, he was in Australia working with a multinational company, and one day he came back from Australia to Kerala. That is, he's from Trichur. That is, when he was seeing one jack tree behind his house, full with jackfruits, and nobody wants this jackfruit. He had an idea. He went back some agriculturists, and he went to Manuti Agricultural College, met some professors there, and they gave him an idea to start something in this jackfruit industry, some startups. And now he is the most successful entrepreneur from Kerala, exporting jackfruit products. So many products are there. Jackfruit powder is there. Even we know jackfruit, so many products are made out of jackfruit. Jackfruit is there. Even in tuber crops. In tuber crops, we have an incubator there in the CTCRI Srigariam Trivandrum. And in that incubator, they are giving this technology, the proven technology to entrepreneurs. Any entrepreneur who wants to start a company can go there, buy that technology for a very small amount, that is 25,000, 30,000, based on the technology. You can purchase the technology from there. You can sit in the incubator for 1 year or 2 years, maximum 2 years, I think. You can develop the products there. And after 2 years, when your company became successful, the startup became successful, you can go out and do your business outside. Like that, not only tuber crops, in plantation crops, CPCRI, they have an incubator there in Kasaragod. Dr. Ramachandran is heading that incubator there in CPCRI. Then IISR, Kozhikode, Dr. Jayasri is looking after that. And spices, even we have many success stories in spices. In India, the largest spice export companies are from Kerala.
I see.
Okay, they all have purchased their technology, the technology from IISR Kozhikode. So in agri field, Kerala can become the most successful state in the country in the agri area. And the only competitor in agri with Kerala is Telangana now. Because in Hyderabad, we have ICRISAT. In ICRISAT, there is an incubator called ABI, Agri Business Incubator, which is supported by Government of India. And ICRISAT is it's an international campus there. So for agri, even agri means agri any area, not only this agriculture. What is it? The fisheries is there. Then what is it? That is milk and milk products.
Dairy products, yes. Yeah.
Dairy products. So in so many areas, we can divert from agriculture to different areas, and most of this even agriculture technology is getting shape. Agriculture technology means we know now we have urban farming. So many companies, so many startups are working very successfully in urban farming, like in hydroponics, aeroponics. Then what is it?
Vertical farming maybe.
Vertical farming is there.
Yeah.
Then in so many areas, these are technology areas where the technology people, the engineers can support.
They use IoT also. They use
IoT also. IoT
Macro,
also there. IoT also there. Yes. In a drip irrigation, automatic drip irrigation is there. Even now the KIIDC, there is a corporation of Government of Kerala looking after the agricultural technology only. That is Kerala Irrigation Infrastructure Development Corporation. They are looking for agricultural technology in IoT, supporting this urban farming and other what we are hydroponics and all the ponics, hydroponics, aquaponics, aeroponics, and all these areas. They are looking for good technology, good innovation, and they're looking for good entrepreneurs to start startups also in these areas.
Okay, great. And you said ideas are also available if you want to, I mean, for on sale or on what? How ideas you come just like as a service or?
Yeah. Ideas can also be given. Ideas there. Then I can help if any startup wants to start. I can give them idea. I can give them mentors, even technology mentors. I can help them by getting a space in incubators, because I am associated with almost all these incubators in the state, not only in the state, in the country.
Great.
Okay, I can help them to any extent, whatever they want. In marketing also, marketing and selling also, I can help them in digital marketing. I have so many startup companies there which are doing digital marketing.
Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Very valuable information, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any more question? Sabik sir?
Okay, you can wind up, ma'am. You can wind up.
You can get his address, no email and all is available, right? If you want to contact.
My phone number is it is with Dr. Sabik.
Okay.
He knows my phone number, and my mail ID is also there. It is kccnair@gmail.com. KCCNAIR kccnair@gmail.com. All small letters.
Okay, sir.
So for the participants, my phone number is 9447 111 244. You can call me, either you can mail me.
Okay.
Okay. I think in KMC, do you have an IEDC there in your college?
IEDC is there in KMCT. Is there? Cell is there. KMCT Engineering College. It is there.
Okay.
Sir, can you repeat the phone number?
9447 111 244.
Yes, sir.
Shabira
Okay.
ma'am, you
Yes.
can wind.
Okay. So thank you, Chandrasekharan sir, for the wonderful session. I hope all the participants have got more information on the startup mission and vision and all. So on behalf of IEEE MSS, I thank you, sir, for this session, for spending your valuable time with us. And I also thank all the participants for actively participating in this session. Thank you all. Hope you all got the feedback link, and please fill the form, and then only you have to that is sign out from this session. Thank you all. Thank you, sir, once again.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sabik sir, please share that feedback link once again. Some participants are requested. Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I'll share.
Okay, sir. Someone has shared it. I think Kirti or someone. Okay. Thank you, Kirti.